Yo, 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 what up, guys? It's your boy T-Up with Blazing in Sports. Man, oh man, oh man. This glove incident just won't go away. This might be the boxing version of herpes, a cold sore that looks like it's going away, comes back again. Guys, welcome to the channel. It's your boy T-Up with Blazing in Sports. Do me a favor, as you come in, go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so when I go live, God damn it, you'll get it. Guys, at first it was just YouTubers, right? Just YouTubers saying, hey, something's up with the glove. It looks funny. Listen, I get it. This is no Kevin Hart situation or Mike Else, but something looks funny here, and it's those gloves. Guys, now there are professional boxers. Charles Demigod Martin, the chosen one. You know Charles Martin. He fought Anthony Joshua in a tough match. I couldn't stare with a straight face. But listen, man, we're getting fighters to come out, man, and really give their opinion, because I believe a lot of fighters didn't want to say nothing about it. They probably didn't want to jeopardize their check. You know how it goes. Sometimes you see things that it's blatantly obvious, but because you might deal with the certain parties or work with certain parties that they're advising you not to say nothing, and you're trying to hold it in. But I'm telling you right now, they must not got that memo to George Groves, Charles Martin, Steve Cunningham, and who else? I'm missing somebody, right? Who am I missing? Oh, Errol Spence Jr. And the building, the one, the only American Path to Travel. What it do? Salute to the chat. Down in the building. What's blazing? Listen, man, this topic is, listen, it won't go away, guys. Do me a favor. I want you guys to look to that picture under live. I know some of you guys are not professional fighters, but do you believe in a professional fight should gloves been like that? Lost one in the building. Where you been, bro? Lost one, bro. I would love to get your input on this. From looking at those pictures, to your left, hold on, please, Blazing, you're a coach. Don't say you believe this. Lost one, I want to know your opinion. Do me a favor. Look at that picture to the left. Have you ever seen a wrist bend like that? Is that natural? Listen, I want to know from you. Listen, you tell me. I like to do a lot of talking, but sometimes I like to listen. I guess read in this case. I'm just asking, man. Look at the pictures. Charles Martin is a professional fighter, former heavyweight champion, fought in a fantastic matchup as he displayed his godlike ability and fought Anthony Joshua in a tough and rugged fight. Came out and said, listen, looks like that man, knuckles wasn't in the glove. George Groves spoke and said as well that, listen, there's obviously something up with the gloves. Steve Cunningham and Errol Spence Jr. I want to know from you guys, man. To me, this looks, listen, let's take a look. To me, this looks funny, man. This looks real funny. Look at him. Don Donner said, wrist bending like a cat fight. Lost one, I am a coach. And as a coach, I wrap hands here and there. When you wrap hands for a fight, you use a lot of gauze and tape. Tape! You want to know what the tape is made for? The same way you use any tape. For something to not to move, to stay in the place it is intended to stay in. Because when you bend a fight, especially the one that is shown in this picture, if a wrist bent like that in a fight is throwing a punch, it is a good chance it will break, it will spring, something. And the fighter would know immediately he made a mistake. But even with that being said, have you ever known anybody to throw a punch and the wrist flop back like that? It flops back. Listen, guys, I get it. We have different opinions. Blazer, next time you're in the gym, try wearing a glove like that and do a round on a heavy bag that will tell you everything. No, it won't. Let me explain to you. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Thank you for challenging my thought ways and making them some bitches work. Let's go. First of all, punching a punching bag and punching a person in the ring is completely different. Most punching bags don't have give. When you hit somebody in the head, it typically gives. It is not the same. That's why you can punch in a punching bag over and over and over and over again. Some fighters hurt themselves by punching on a punching bag. When they spar, they don't actually hurt themselves. Punching bag and a fighting and hitting a human is totally two completely things. Two of them. One, you can cause mass damage, brain injury, bleeding, swelling. Two, typically don't cause much damage in the bag. Maybe year and year wear and tear, typically doesn't cause much damage. But will I get in the ring for you? Heck, you know what? I don't know if I have time today. I would be at the gym, but it'd be too many people to do it. I get some laced up gloves, put them on, and get to swinging that shit like a purse, as if somebody just tried to steal my bag. But let's keep looking. Hold on. Now, and another thing, Lost One. How would me going in the gym, punching on the bag, no matter if I proved it wrong or proved it right, matter of fact, I wouldn't be proving nothing. I would just be giving you my thoughts on it. Especially if I'm biased, I can give you a biased thought. But it doesn't matter what I do in the gym. Does it explain how his wrist looks bent? Look at the picture. His wrist looks bent. What is this? Go gadget extended wrist? What is this? Listen, man, it looks like he's about to transform or do a Tony Stark move. He hit his chest, boom, wrist start clicking, click, 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 click. Wrist is now in position. Come on. Listen, come on. It's as somebody who boxed before and coach, it is nearly, I want to say 100% impossible, but the closest you can get to 100% impossible to have everything taped right, gloved right, laced right, to bend in that fashion. Lost One, you know what? Maybe it's his palm, maybe it's his knuckle, but the fact is, the wrists don't bend like that. Now I get it. Maybe you in your car, you in your house, and you're bending your wrist like, my wrist bends. My wrist bends first. If you're ever going to throw a fight, you're not going to bend your wrist like that, even if it's not taped up. Second, his is taped up. Let me walk you through it. Again, when a fighter is getting taped up, which I have been taped up many times, when they put the layer of gauze on my hand and start taping the gauze down, they emphasize taping on the wrists and the knuckles, the top of them, so you don't want to break your knuckles, you don't want your wrist to move. You really don't want your wrist to move. That's the most important part. Because when people typically when they throw a bad hook, that's when people do more damage to their wrist. They don't have it bulging outward like Fury has in this photo. Typically, most people throwing a hook, they kind of curve it in too much and do a more bending in when they throw a shot. And if it's not taped correctly and you're allowed to bend like that, you will cause injury to your wrist. Now, let's get back to it. So they tape up their wrist, taping up the hand. And to be honest, I don't think it's the palm because I don't believe it's the top of the knuckles we see. I think we see part of, would it be secondary knuckles? The knuckles on the fingers. Not the knuckles that separate the hand to the fingers. Yes, those are the more important knuckles. But what I believe what you see is, I believe you see the finger parts leading up to the top knuckles. I believe you see the finger part leading up to it. PED was cracking, homie. P-Dub says, Charles and Cunningham are brave enough to speak true to power. Mayweather, with all his wealth, he is quiet. Nick Rich in the building. Homie on the mic, you ever study all of Fury fights? You see if his wrist action is awkward? Have I studied all his fights? No. Have I watched a great portion of some of his fights? Yes. Have I seen something like this before? Well, let's talk about it. I'm glad you brought that up because you know what? I'm semi-repaired, but not much. If I can do it, hold on. I don't want to leave a comment. Okay, how do I get into it? Okay, hold on. Let's work. Let's work. Let's work. Here we go. Here we go. There it is right there. All right, guys. What you guys should be looking at right now. That's a younger Tyson Fury, as you can see. Very small. A lot smaller. And you see the referee checking his gloves right before a fight. This was a fight when he was getting ready to fight Christian Hammer. When they came out there, the referee grabbed his hand and noticed he couldn't feel a goddamn thumb. He couldn't feel nothing. The referee said, oh, wait. He's like, what? Wait, what's going on? He said, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. You gotta change the whole glove. His hand's not in the glove. So Tyson Fury had to go in the corner and wait until they changed gloves and properly put them on before he fought Christian Hammer. And I believe later, after that fight, I could be wrong, that fight was ruled a no contest because they found something in Fury's system. Now, if you want to verify that, a simple Google search could help you out. But this is an example of glove tampering again. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. All right, let's go to another one. I know I'm at work. Listen, I'm at work. Otherwise, I would be in front. I would be in front of the camera, giving you guys this smoke like AD did. God rest his soul. His friends and family would miss him. All right, I'm looking. Okay. All right. Let's go to this. Let's talk about this for a minute. Here it is. All right. Now, what you're looking at is Deontay Wilder's in the corner. And looks like Tyson Fury is palming Deontay Wilder's face. At least he tried to. Wilder may have moved it to the left. But again, a glove don't typically bend up like that. And I want you to imagine this, guys. Imagine this. Do you guys remember the first fight when Deontay Wilder knocked down Tyson Fury? And there was pictures. I got pictures. I can show you that. If you guys said, no, show me the picture of the gloves when he was on the ground in the first fight and the lace is open. All you got to do is say a word. I'll show it to you. Tyson Fury was knocked down. His lace was open. Some kind of way he woke up after 4 or 5 seconds. Stood back on his feet like God picked him up and dusted him off. Like, get back to that playground, little boy. And did you guys notice that in that same round, in the same hand where the lacer was loose, in the same fight where the wrist was bent 93 degrees, that Fury came back and hit Wilder with a slapping left hook. It looked like a slap because the knuckle part on the pad did not hit his side of his head square. It hit it sideways. But for some reason, that shot was powerful enough to buzz Deontay Wilder. So you ask yourself, if a slap never really hurts anybody, could it be because his gloves was open, the laces was undone, the fist probably a little bit lower than what it should have, and him hitting him with laces and knuckles, that it possibly could have led to the damage? Another question. In the current fight we saw, Deontay Wilder had a cut inside his ear. Me being a fighter, I have never seen a fighter cut in his ear from getting punched with a glove. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen swelling, I've seen eyebrows split up, but it's hard to get a fist inside the ear to cause a gash that would need stitches. To me, it seems that maybe possibly knuckles or laces are something that hit in the ear other than the pad that could have caused it. Frank West in the building. What's cracking, homie? I was asking Blazer, and I picked him to win. Let me see what I missed. Frank West in the building. What's cracking, homie? Damon Hendricks in the building. Fact, yes. Ali used to do that all the time. Bro, I'd never seen Ali fist in a glove. Listen, if you can, don't get me wrong. People have used, let's go back to the other picture. Hold on, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge. Listen, back in the day, they took a glove off and slapped somebody with it. That's a challenge. Well, guess what? My gloves are off, and I'm slapping the shit out of somebody right now. Oh, there's a motherfucker. Hold on. Hold on. I'm almost there. This might be it. This might be it. All right. I don't put it past Ali might have used a flick jab before. I don't get it. I don't put that past. People are not saying that no one has never used a flick jab before, but it's what we see. One, let's go back to the picture over to the left. Look at the top right corner. When gloves are put on, they are tied down tight and they are taped up tight. We can see clear that there's a lot of play in Tyson Fury gloves. There's a lot of play, a lot of arm room. Another thing, again, his wrist is bent back 98 degrees, like somebody's body temperature. His wrist is bent back like somebody running a fever. 99 degrees, 101, 101 degrees bent back. And when he flips the jab, remember, I can go in the gym and do a flicking jab. I know what that is. But doing a flicking jab doesn't allow your top part of your glove looks like you're slinging a water balloon around by holding the tip up with the knot on it. That's what this looked like. That's what it looks like. Now, if you don't believe me, go watch it yourself. Listen, if you can find me another film where somebody else's wrist, and matter of fact, hold on. Not only did it bend inwards 99 degrees and backwards 99 degrees, when he transitioned from that flip jab to that hook, it did a whole circular motion. It circled. It did a whole circular motion, open up like Nelly said, drop down and get your eagle on and spread it all the way back, and then came and it hit the side of Wilder's head. But if you look right here, look at the bottom right corner. When that shot actually connected on Deontay Wilder, what's up, champ? When that shot actually connected on Deontay Wilder, the wrist part hit where the fist would normally hit on Wilder. The glove part where the fist would normally be in hit the side of Wilder's head. But that shot had a devastating effect on Wilder. So you gotta ask yourself, how can a shot where it looks like it just bounces around and not really land hard, but have a devastating effect on that lands actually makes him wobble? Now listen, guys, I get it. We like our favorite fighters. I get it. I think Tyson Fury is a great fighter. I think he has skills. He has speed. To be 6'9" and have a reach like that, it's ridiculous. To move on his feet like that is ridiculous, guys. But I'm only saying that this isn't the first time, in my belief, that we have seen athletes that had tremendous talent and still wanted an edge to secure a win. Wasn't there a bicyclist that won many I don't know if they even called them wars. I can't think his name right now. And then come to find out later, he cheated in almost all of them. Almost all of them. Now here is something that we see in plain daylight. Listen, this is plain daylight with a flashlight on. This man's wrist is bent. Unless he's Go-Go Gadget's great nephew. Unless he got some Tony Stark new armor to where his wrist transforms, and it comes out like that. This shit ain't natural. His wrist probably need to have an extra role on the show Supernatural, because this is supernatural. Tornado in the building, what's cracking, homie? They never use it like this. Lost one, yep, let's get it. Heavy boom, what's up? What's cracking, homie? Play my clip in motion, G. Bro, I only got a picture, man, and that was just off the internet. If this is your video, I would play it if I could. But listen, I'm at work working, bro. God, listen, you know what I do. If I was at home, I'd be giving you this work. I'd be in the studio, in front of the camera, pulling up all type of shit. But I'm at work. Give me this work. Back here like a crack at it. Give me your boxing geek with this work. Unannounced in the building. What's cracking, homie? Lost when I think Fury was just a better man on that night. He deserves credit. Deontay Wilder of the one and a knife in the ring that night. Just focus on the rematch. If Wilder works his jab a lot and back foot. Listen, Fury's a good fighter. I don't take nothing away from him. But just being honest is that from what you see, that's not natural. I couldn't even go in the gym and put my glove on right, put some tape on right, and try to throw a hook and make my elbow poke out and my top of my knuckles poke out the same way. It just ain't possible. It's just not possible. But it's your boy T. Blazing Sports. I'm out.